lesson we are talking about what is this daycare ERP. Now, if you recall, then Eduvarate Research and Education Foundation has supported Eduvarate Kids to launch India's first and most innovative kit for the children in daycare setup. And basic objective of that was to optimize the skill development while the child is spending quite a lot of time in a daycare setup. So for that purpose, with lots of research, with lots of deliberation, with lots of feedback from various daycare centers, Eduvarate Kids has launched this daycare kit in March 2024. And since then, many of the daycare centers have been using this, and they have shared their feedback, they have kit, and they have absolutely happy using such kit for the skill development of the child. Now, since lots of things are there in the daycare kit which can be automated, Eduvarate Kids has been trying to improve the functionalities of the daycare kit, and from that perspective, it has been trying to look at how and in what way the functionalities that has been created in this daycare kit can be automated. And if you look to various objectives that is being there for the daycare kit, they are basically developing a sense of accomplishment. As we know that many children, while they do certain things by utilizing any specific skill, most often they are not able to complete the task. And because of that, there is a sense of non-accomplishment of the task. And we, based on our experience, we realize that daycare centers are such centers where this accomplishment, skill of accomplishment can be fulfilled. So we are just trying to get into various activities where the child will be able to have that particular skill. Then improving the creativity is another aspect which can be nurtured in a daycare setup. So that is also one of the objectives. Nutrition and daily calorie intake is another area which most of the parents they neglect. And since the nutritional requirement of the child is not fulfilled, then the child's growth and development some point of time is compromised. It's not like that the parents are not ready to fulfill the nutritional requirement of the child, but most of the time it happens because of non-aware about the nutritional requirement of the child and various foods which can provide the required nutrition to the child. And this daycare kit, we have tried to bring those information and those requirements and those food and calorie intake, all such information which will help the daycare center professionals as well as parents to ensure the child is getting all the right food which can take care of the right nutrition of the child. Then weight management, which is the offshoot of the nutritional requirement, which reflects in the BMI, or in other words, that is body mass index. If body mass index is right in terms of child's growth and development, in terms of child's weight as against the height and the age, if that is proper, then the child's overall development or child's growth in terms of skill development becomes very, very optimal. Now, in India, around 50% children are either wasted or stunted. Stunted is their growth in terms of height as compared to age, and wasted is their growth in terms of weight as far as age is concerned. So this BMI and weight of the child has been taken care in this daycare kit, which can be regularly monitored. Then intake of liquid or water in early stages of development is very, very important, because body organs, they carry 60 to 90% of water, whether it's eye, it's liver, it's brain, it's kidney. So any major organs which help in functioning of our body, they intake quite a lot of water. And if water intake becomes very, very insignificant or insufficient, then the organ growth and overall development some point of time may be compromised. So we are also tracking the water intake, the ideal water intake of the child in the daycare kit. So that is also one of the major objective of the kit, and we do suggest various daycare professionals to completely provide support on this aspect to the child as well as to the parents. Then another area of development of the child's future achievement depends on social skill development in the early years. And most of the time we realized that certain skills which need to be developed in early years and could not have been developed, that leads to lots of problem in the further life. So we bring that right social skill development through this daycare kit, which helps the daycare professionals to provide the right amount of guidance to the parents as well as to the children, and ensure that child learns slokas and other moral values. Moral values has been an integral part of the learning in Indian value system, and we try to bring that as an integral part in the daycare kit, so that even if parents, they do not provide sufficient amount of time, the daycare professionals, they should able to provide that with much clarity and intention. So the daycare ERP, when we talk about daycare ERP, will able to automate all these objectives what we have just discussed, and that integrated system will help to provide the support system to parents, to teachers, as well as to the daycare centers in a much integrated manner. That's what we decided to develop the daycare ERP, which will automate most of the things. Now in the daycare ERP, we have one web application for the school admin or the daycare admin, because the daycare admin has to define various functions, the way they want the daycare system should operate. So this will be available in a web application. Web application means those things can be managed in a system, either in a computer, desktop computer, or a laptop, which we through that website, we have a dedicated website for that purpose, and daycare centers will be getting that access to that website, and by utilizing certain user ID and password, they can gain access. While they gain access, they will be managing quite a lot of things, like managing children and caretakers, providing the admission into the daycare center, and managing various resources in terms of various information, various activities which can be categorized as resource in daycare center, which will be available to daycare professionals, caretakers, as well as parents. Then managing learning outcome, as we keep quite a lot of objectives to be achieved in this daycare center, what we discussed through that list of objectives, those things can also be measured and assessed in a certain way. That is also there. The school or the daycare center can define and manage them. We can manage the notice. The daycare center can have the notice system for the parents and teachers that can be managed. Banners are the uh, system in which daycare center or the school can promote their daycare center in various ways. So in our system, we provide the school or the daycare center provide or to keep various promotional material which can be flashed in the app, the daycare app, which will be accessed by the teachers and the parents. In that, various promotional things can be managed by the daycare center. Then inquiry management, as we know that there are inquiries. Various people, they reach out to the daycare center to understand what way the school can or the daycare center can provide support to them. So all the inquiries can be managed quite well. And payment, the parents can make the payment directly through the system, and the school can have a complete track record of the payments that's made by the parents, and that becomes very effective way of tracking to the payment, pending amount and outstanding amount, and the day on which the payments has to be made. So all these things can be managed, and those things can be managed by the daycare admin through this web application. And after that, we have also the second component of this daycare ERP is the caretaker or the teacher and parents access to the child's growth and development. Why? What is available through a mobile application? Because teachers and parents more often they access and they have easy access to their mobile, and we have got a mobile app which can be downloaded from App Store as well as Play Store for both Android as well as Apple phone. And through that app, parents and teachers has a lot of roles to play as caretaker to provide to the child. Those things they can operate through the mobile app, and parents can have complete information about their child's growth and development through that application. So we have an application which is nicely made, and teachers can take timetable management, learning management, activity planning, other things they can do in the app itself, and the parents can also check and see the reports of their child's growth and development through this app itself. So this is the way we have created the integrated daycare management system, which will help the daycare centers to operate in a very effective and professional manner. So thank you so much for this particular session. And this session we discussed about what exactly Daycare ERP is all about. And in our next session, we'll be talking about another specific area which will give you in-depth knowledge about some functionalities of this Daycare ERP. Thank you so much.